Hello and welcome to the third part of my video series about the Hoplite, a warfare in the Greco-Persian Age, 5th-4th century before Christ. And this is a Battle of Ephesus. And this is one of the most interesting battles in this game, because in the previous video you could see a Battle of Marathon, which was outstanding Athenian victory against a poor army of Persians. And this battle is something completely different, because we also have a number of Athenian and Ionian hoplites, but against them we have a quite fine Persian army containing not only a number of poor and weak infantry units, but some very good light cavalry, archers, and some chariots. Chariots were quite an outdated weapon of these days, but they could be still quite effective against slow units, because chariots were not meant to charge on the enemy and run through them, but rather to be some kind of self-propelled gun. They could move quite fast, and they could fire on the enemy with their missile weapons, and instead of horsemen, they could fire in any direction they like, so they can be still quite effective. Also, we have a number of light infantry. These guys are literally poor and useless, so we should pray that they won't meet hoplites in the direct combat. And we have two heavy cavalry units that can be again effective, especially if attacking enemy from behind. And to fight against these Persians, we have a number of Ionian and Athenian hoplites, supported by some skirmishers. Skirmishers again are not some very effective and good units, but they have at last one use, because they can be very good against chariots. Because you can see they are faster than hoplites, so we might have some good use of them. As for the differences between previous games and this one, we have some chain of command here as well, because each side has one overall command, one for Greeks and one for Persians, and some formation commanders. This commander is for hoplites only, and this commander is for skirmishers only, and same goes to Persians. These commanders have no dedicated units. You can see they don't have a formation name written on their counter, but they don't have charisma, so they can only affect combat in the limit number, and they are mostly meant to command their formations and to try to keep them in the chain of command, and of course to rally them if some of these units will be routed. Also, we have skirmishers, who are something called leaderless unit. They don't have their leader. They have to command them all by themselves. So this is not a very good, but again, in this particular battle, their goal is to stay and to fire on the approaching enemy and then to retreat. Because one of the most effective tactics for this battle, for Persians, is something called orderly withdrawal. It allows units to fire on the enemy and then step back. So because of that, we can spray at approaching hoplites with our arrows, javelins, or maybe slings. I'm not sure if anyone has a sling here, but slings are option as well. And then withdraw before our enemy hoplites will actually approach us. This is especially true for light cavalry. There is one obstacle for Persians, and this is a special rule for this scenario, which says that Persians cannot move towards their own edge of the board. They cannot move, but they cannot withdraw. But they can withdraw. But this is because they were on the pursuit of withdrawing Ionians and Athenians, so they can only move towards the enemy. This can be problematic, you will see, especially when it comes to the cavalry and chariots, especially chariots, because cavalry has more freedom of maneuver, while chariots are, well, less maneuverable. But you will see how it works soon. So that would be everything when it comes to the introduction, and we can start the game. Okay, so we can start our game, and Persian player has an initiative in this battle, in the first turn only, so he can choose the one formation he wants to activate, and that would be Persian Cavalry. Let's zoom a bit. Persian Cavalry is here. We have 2 heavy cavalry units and 1, 2, 3, 6 light cavalry archers units, and I am going to make a move of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now, because these are horse archers, they can move and fire, and that's what makes them very good, because they can actually fire on the enemy after moving. So they are using composite bow, and they are firing on the range of 2, and they are firing on the Hoplite Phalanx, so they have +2 die roll modifier. So I rolled 2, so this is 1 hit on these guys. And next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they are firing as well, and they rolled 1, so they have another hit. Now they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they are also firing at this Hoplite Phalanx. I rolled 4 +2, it is 6, so it is a miss, because I need 4 or less to score a hit on these Athenians. And now they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they are firing on these skirmishers, and when I fire on the skirmishers I get +1 only. Skirmishers are not probably very well armored like hoplites, but they are in some loose formations that makes them a harder target. So I'm rolling, and I rolled 3. I rolled 3 +1, it is 4, so it is enough to score a hit on these guys. And now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they are firing on the skirmishers as well. They roll 8 +1, it is a 9, so it is a miss. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I am firing on the skirmishers again. I rolled 1 +1, it is a hit, so they have 2 cohesion hits, so they are rotated, and again rotated skirmishers are eliminated. But first I have to make a move with these 2 horse heavy cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is enough, and they move here. Okay, that's all for my cavalry movement. And now, since these are skirmishers, and skirmishers are instantly eliminated if routed, so I place them off the board, and I remove my cavalry marker, and I put all the remaining activation markers into opaque cap, and now I can start all the remaining turns. So you can see that already cavalry managed to do some good stuff, eliminating one of the skirmishers and suffering 2 cohesion hits to the one of phalanxes. So I am drawing another activation marker from my cap, and this is going to be Persian Skirmishes. And Persian Skirmishes are not actually very useful for now. They are just standing here forming some kind of protection for this light infantry, so let them be. I don't have any use for them as for now. All they can do is to stay there and wait. Okay, so I can draw next counter, and what is going to be? It is Persian light infantry. Again, same thing. Persian light infantry is here. They are just standing there on their asses and sitting on their asses and hoping that nothing bad will happen to them. Well, they are quite weak. They are not quite effective against such a good infantry like Hoplites. So their idea is to stay there, to not make any move, to stay there and just wait, hoping that the other units managed to eliminate enough of Hoplites, or maybe weaken them, before these Hoplites will reach our poor light infantry. So that's all when it comes to this activation, but since I'm not going to make any movement. And next what we have is Persian Skirmishes. So we have already one skirmisher eliminated, so we have 3 of them. And what I'm going to do is to move them here on this flank, because they are useless against cavalry, but they can be quite effective against chariots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all when it comes to our skirmishers, and I can't do much with them for now. And gonna draw another activation marker, and this is Persian Momentum. Persian Momentum allows me to activate any of my formations twice. So you can guess that it is attempting to activate this light cavalry again. But Athenian player may declare trumping. He may cry, make Athens great again, and to stop me from making this action. His initiative rating is 2, so he would have to roll 2 or less to trump me. I guess he will try. This is still attempting, but well, he rolled 8, so this goes nothing, and then I can make my actions. Okay, so I'm not going to move with these guys. Instead, I'm going to make another interesting thing in this game. It is called Harassment and Dispersal tactics. You can make these tactics only if your cavalry units are in the range of 2 or 3 from enemy forces, and they didn't make any movement. So when you satisfy such requirements, you can attack with these units, but instead of attacking from 3 or 2 hexes, they can attack like they would be in the range of 1. So they are literally riding towards enemy, firing their arrows and quickly withdrawing. This is a very effective tactics for light cavalry, especially, as you can already see. So I'm making these tactics with all these 6 cavalry units. So I'm starting with them, and they are firing on these Hoplites like they would be in the range of 1. So they have firepower of 6. And of course they have to add +2 because they are firing on Hoplites, but still their chances to hit the enemy are visibly increasing. So I rolled 8, this is a miss for them. I rolled 3, so this is a hit. And them. It is a 9, so it is a miss, and I also have to mark them with low missile. And now these 3 units are focusing on these Hoplites. 0. So when you fire with composite bow at the range of 1 and you roll natural 0 without any modifiers, you get 2 cohesion hits. So this is great. And now them 6, it is a miss, and them 2, it is a hit. So you can see we scored such a good number of hits on the enemy, and I'm not going to move this heavy cavalry because I don't have any use of moving it. So that's all when it comes to the Persian momentum. And next we have Persian Ionian Hoplites. Okay, so our poor Hoplites can finally move. They were human targets for the Persian arrows for some time, and now they finally are able to make some movement and maybe have their revenge. Let's start with checking what kind of movement our Hoplites will do, because we have to roll for Hoplite advance to combat. So we are starting with these guys. It is 8, so they are running. Now they 0, so they are walking. Next one is 6, so they are trotting. Next one is 3, so they are trotting as well. Next one has 1, so they are walking. Where is walk counter? Oh, here it is. And the next unit is 0, so they are walking as well. Not good. Not good because my idea is to reach enemy infantry as quick as possible, and this won't be easy when they are just walking. And 7, they are running. Okay. So now we have some move commands, and we can move. Okay. So, but this movement won't be easy. We have some friendly and enemy units on our way. Starting here with our friendly units. I can move through my own unit with Hoplites, save to the other Hoplite unit. If there would be another Hoplite unit here, I wouldn't be able to move through this hex, but I have to pay 1 movement point, and as if there is a Hoplite unit involved in such a movement, it gains 1 cohesion hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I'm running, and I get 1 cohesion hit because of the moving through my friendly unit. And now I have to make a cohesion hit because I have to make a quality check because I'm running. I passed, so no problem. And now this unit. 1, and I cannot move any further. Why? Because there is a friendly unit, and I would have to spend another movement point to move here, so I would spend 2 movement points, and I have 3 movement points, so I wouldn't be able to move any further, and I cannot stack. So I have to stay here. Now they 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are quite alright. And now they 1, 2, 3. Notice that I had a chance to fire on them in the reaction combat, but I decided not to, because I'm going to use my horse archers for these guys, because they are already weakened. And now here. I am moving here in the number of 1, and now enemy has an option to perform something called orderly withdrawal. To perform orderly withdrawal, your unit has to have movement points rate bigger than the attacking unit. So they have all 8 and they have 4. So they can retreat with 8, but before routing they can still fire on my approaching unit. So I am firing with them on the range of 2, so they have firepower of 4 and +2 because they are shooting on a Hoplite Phalanx. 8, it is a miss. 7, it is a miss, and 8, this is a miss, so they can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice this, that this is the only option in this scenario for Persians to move back, because they cannot move towards their edge of the board normally, but they can withdraw in the way that I just showed you. So they move 1, 2, 3, and now they declare movement as well, so these guys can also perform such an action. But they are running, so they have 5 movement points, so they will be able to retreat just 3 hexes. And now they are going to fire. So I'm making a fire for this unit first. 1, they scored a hit. First, next they missed, and now they missed, and because they have missed low, so I have to move them on no missile, so they cannot fire in this turn anymore, and I have to retreat them with 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they can move 5 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now these guys are going to make their own orderly withdrawal. They are no missile units, so they cannot fire, so they move 1, 2, 1, 2, and 5. And because of the running, they have to make a cohesion check. They failed, so they have 5 cohesion hits already, so they are in the, well, not very good situation. Okay, so that's all for our hoplite movements. I think, yes, this is all. Since all of our hoplite phalanx moved, there is no need to mark them with moved counters. If some of them only would move, then it would make sense, but they all have a movement command, and because of this command they have to move every time they can. So that's all when it comes to their activation. So I'm gonna draw another activation counter, and these are Persian Chariots. So I can activate my cool, because Chariots are cool, Chariots. There is 4 of them, and you may notice that some of them are marked with C, so they have composite bow, and some of them are marked with J, so they have javelins. So they are not quite as effective as composite bow, especially when it comes to the range attacks, because you can fire with composite bow on the range of 3, while you can fire with javelin on the range of 4. Okay, so let's make a movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all, and I'm going to fire with composite bow on these hoplites. It is 3. It is +2 because of their armor, so it is a miss. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a miss as well. And now they. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are javelin armed, so I'm not going to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's all when it comes to my chariots. Where did I put a chariot's activation marker? Oh, I already put it away. Alright. And so there is one last activation counter, and this is Ionian momentum. So our hoplites are able to move again. So I'm going to make another movement with my Ionian hoplites. Of course it will cost me a cohesion hit, because for the moving twice your hoplites you get 1 cohesion hit, but like I said before, my goal is to reach enemy weak Persian units as soon as possible. So I'm starting here with movement of this phalanx, and there are these chariots here. So chariots may orderly withdraw as well, but they incur one cohesion hit every time they try to do so. They can also perform withdrawal fire as well. So I'm firing with composite bow on this Ionian phalanx. First with these guys. 1, they scored a hit. And next with these guys. 9, they missed and they get missile low. And now they, since Ionian player declares movement, they can move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each of them suffers one cohesion hit because of that. And now our Ionians, they suffer one cohesion hit because of moving twice. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have to make a troop quality check because they were running. They passed. And now I'm going to mark them with shock, no TQ. And these archers will be made to, this should be shock, no TQ, while these you guys will be marked with shock, must TQ. Also, since these Ionians moved in their range of fire, since they are armed with javelins, so they have range of 1, they might be able to fire on Ionians. 9, they missed and they have missile low as well. So that wasn't very lucky for them. And next we have these Ionians. I have to make my move through my skirmishers. So 1, 2, 3. I gain one cohesion hit because of moving through my own friendly units, and one cohesion hit because I'm moving twice this turn. So 2 cohesion hits. And now they 1, 2, 3, 4. And one cohesion hit for them. Now they 1, 2, 3, 4. Trot and one cohesion hit. You can see they entered a range of these skirmishers who are armed with composite bow. But these skirmishers cannot do much because they could fire on the range of 3 with the power of 1, and they add +2 for firing on the Hoplite Phalanx, so they have no chance to score any hits. Now this Phalanx, 1, 2, 3, and one cohesion hit. Now these guys, 1, 2. I'm going to place a die with 2 to remember that I already spent 2 movement points, and these guys are firing on them. 8, it is a miss, so they are performed orderly withdrawn. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they spent 2 movement points, so 1, 2. Sorry, 1, but because they had walk. Okay. And they suffer one cohesion hit. And now these guys, they also declare their movement because they have to. So they are firing on them. 7, it is a miss, and they are firing as well. 9, it is a miss, and they get missile low, and they are retreating. Withdrawing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are moving. Y, 1. Now they are performing orderly withdrawn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have to make a troop quality check for them. I roll 8, so it is it is 6, so they have troop cohesion hits of 6, so this is bad for them and they might be routed. So yes, they are marked with rout counter and they are made to retreat 2 hexes away. 1, 2. They can change facing or not. This is special ability of Phalanx, because other units are made to change their facing towards their edge of the board, but the Phalanx are allowed to keep their facing while routing. So that's all when it comes to... not. We have one combat here. We have one combat here to resolve. So let's resolve this combat. We have Hoplite Phalanx against Chariots. So I have make a troop quality check for these Chariots first. They have troop quality of 5. It was 6, so they failed. So they have plus one cohesion hit. And now I have to resolve combat. So we have Hoplites attacking Chariots. So no one is superior and we are using column of 5. We'll be using column of 5 and and attacker is twice bigger because I have double counter and this is single counter. So I move 2 columns in the favor of the attacker, so I have column of 7, and I have run counter, so I will have +1 modifier. So I rolled 4. 4 plus 2 is a 6, so it is 6 in the column of 7. It is 2 and 2. Each side suffers 2 cohesion hits. So Unions have 5. And Persians have 4. So this is interesting because each side has 1 point smaller than their troop quality. So each of these units has to make troop quality check. First our Union Hoplites, 7. They failed, so they are routing. 1, 2. And next, our Chariots, 0, they passed, so their troop quality, their cohesion hit is lowered by 1. So that was quite a good combat for Persians. I am surprised. So we spent all activation markers, so we are moving to the rout, replace and reload, rout, remove, replace and reload phase. First, rout phase, rout movement. Routed units must undergo a rout movement. We have 2 routed units on the board, these 2 Phalanx, and the special rule says that, that all the Phalanx marked with routed counter are instantly eliminated in this step. So, there is a commander here, so commander moves to the nearest friendly unit, and these 2 Phalanx are instantly eliminated. And next we have remove rallied and moved markers. We have no rallied and moved markers. Now we can reload our missiles. Those units that are not adjacent to the enemy units that are not engaged and so might reload their missiles. So you can see that some of our missile units are suffering because of that, so I'm going to remove these counters and they will be able to fire with their full strength again in the next turn. And next we have withdrawal phase. We have to count a number of losses and to see a number of rout points. Each player gains. And this is not going to be good for Athenians, sorry, Ionians, I believe, because they already lost 2 of their phalanx. So let's take a look. They lost 1 skirmisher unit, and skirmishers are worth 1 point, so this is not a big deal. But they lost 2 phalanx, and each of them is worth of 6. Each of them has troop quality of 6. So these are worth of double of this troop quality. So this is 12 and this is 12. So this is 24. 24. So we have 25 road points. So this is bad. This is bad because in this scenario, Greeks are withdrawing if they will lost 30 points. So the Persians need to eliminate 5 points of Athenian units to win this game. So you can see that's how Persians can do the trick, and they are not as useless as you might think after this Battle of Marathon. So that's everything when it comes to the turn 1, and we can move to the turn 2. Alright, so we can start turn 2, and first we have to check who has initiative. First roll for Greeks, it is 5, and then for Persians it is 0, so Greeks has initiative because their overall commander is also 2. And Persian commander has 2 as well, so we have no modifier, and we can choose a first marker for Greeks. And what is going to be... I think I will activate my Hoplites. And starting with them, they are trotting, so they move 1, 2, 1, and now these guys want to orderly withdraw, so they withdraw 1, 2 hexes, because this is a special ability of the skirmishers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Even so, they are caught, and they are going to be attacked by these Hoplites. So they have shock must TQ, and they have no shock no TQ. So the next unit moves here, and now these guys can fire on them, I believe, or not. And this is going to check if this is only for withdrawal fire. Light cavalry, chariot, archer. No, this works only for light cavalry or chariots, so they cannot fire on the approaching unit when it performs orderly withdrawn. So they move 2 hexes, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Still, they are going to be caught and forced to fight, which is going to be quite problematic for skirmishers. Now they 1, 2, 3. So skirmishers doesn't even have to perform orderly withdrawn, but they may fire. 9, they missed, and they have missile low. And now these guys 1, 2, 3. They move here, and these 2 units may fire on them. They are both armed with a composite bow. So first for these skirmishers, 3 plus 2 is 5, it is a miss, and then again it is a miss. Okay, that's oh no, there is one more walking hoplite here unit, and it moves 1. So there is a chariot here, and it performs orderly withdrawn. 1, 2, 3, and that's what it does. It was armed with javelins, so it couldn't fire on the approaching enemy. 1, 2, 3. So yes, that's all, because they have walk. So that's all when it comes to my movement, and I can perform some combat now. I am starting here. First I have attacking unit doesn't have to make a shock TQ, because it entered enemy front hex in this movement order. Also, these are light infantry. They are marked with red letters on the white background, and you don't have to make troop quality check every time you are attacking skirmishers. While these skirmishers are forced to make such a troop quality check, and they rolled 0, they are fine. So next we have to resolve combat. We have Hoplites against Skirmishers, so this is going to be very bad for the defender. Yes, it means that attacker is superior, and we'll be using column of 13. This is the last column, so we don't get even a modification because of the Hoplites being twice stronger than these Skirmishers. Oh, first I have to make a roll for the commander, if he wasn't wounded. He wasn't. And now I have modifier +1 for the formation commander, and no, I don't have a modifier for run, so I'm going to make a roll. It is a 5 +1, it is a 6, so I have 1 and 4, and because these are skirmishers, they are light infantry and they are not shock capable units, then my attackers' losses are halved, so I have 0 losses, and because I was attacker superior, then defender losses are doubled, so they suffered 8 cohesion hits, and because they have quality of 3, they are routed, and because they are skirmishers, they are eliminated. And I can take the ground left by the enemy. And next combat is here. This is essentially the same situation, almost, because there is no commander. First I have to make a troop quality check for the defender. It is 1, so they passed. Oh, they are quite lucky. And now I have to roll. This is the same situation, so I roll in the column of 13. It is 0. Oh my. It is 2 and 2. So attackers cohesion hits are halved, so they have 1 cohesion hit only. And defender cohesion hits are doubled, so they have 4 cohesion hits, so they are routed, and because they are skirmishers, they are eliminated. And I move here, and I can remove these movement markers as well. So that's all when it comes to the Hoplites. I think, yes, I moved all the Hoplites units, so that's all for this activation, and I can put all the remaining activation markers into the cap, so they will be drawn for the next command activations. So I am taking another activation marker. This time I have to draw this, and it is Persian Chariots. So Persian Chariots are going to be moved next, and we have to remember that they cannot move towards their edge of the board. So I can't attack these 2 Hoplites Phalanx from behind, which would be quite a tempting idea. So I have to make my movement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I spent 1 movement point to make a turn with Chariot, and then I'm firing with my composite bow. I rolled 0, so I scored a hit on this Phalanx, which is good. And next I'm moving these guys. I should give them 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am firing as well. 6, it is a miss. And as for the remaining chariots, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I am going to make an attack on them. This can be, well, not very easy, but I think this can be effective because they already lost 3 cohesion hits, so there is a chance that they will suffer more of them, and because of that I might be able to eliminate them. And if I would be able by a lucky roll to eliminate this Ionian unit, then I would gain enough road points for Persians to make Ionian army to left the battlefield. So let's resolve this combat. First I have to make a, sorry, there should be must TQ. First to make a troop quality for the check for the defender. It is 4, they passed. I can also remove this walk counter. And now I have to check. I am using chariots to attack hoplites. So this is chariot against hoplite. So defender is superior. This is not good. And I will be using column of 2. Again, this is not good. But the good thing is that I have commander. You can see he hasn't a charisma rating because he's just a formation commander. When you have a formation commander, you just add +1. 8. Wow, this is a good roll. 8 + 1 is 9. In the row of 2, we have 3 and 2. So, since defender is superior, then attacker suffers 4 cohesion hits and defender suffers 3 cohesion hits. So I have to suffer 6 cohesion hits for the defender and 4 cohesion hits for the attacker. So 2, and okay, it's here, it's 2. Okay, and let's make a roll for the possible collapse and for the hoplites. Hoplites passed, and they are instantly eliminated because they have an equal number of their troop quality, and because these are chariots, chariots are instantly eliminated. So it wasn't as good as I hoped it will be, but still I managed to weaken this Ionian phalanx a bit and maybe slow it down, but still this is not good. I hope it will work better. Alright, so we can start with another activation. So what is going to be now? It is Persian Skirmishers. So we don't have much of Persian Skirmishers on the board actually now. I think there is 1, 2, 3 of them, since 2 of them were eliminated so far. So what can I do? I have these archers, and I think I will focus them on firing on this phalanx, because this phalanx has already 4 cohesion hits, so maybe if I would be very lucky and I would fire twice and I will hit twice, I might be even able to make them road. So let's make a roll. First for them, it is a miss, and now them, it is a miss, and because they have had missile low, now they have missile no. Okay, and I have 1 skirmisher unit here as well, so I might 1, 2, 3, 4, because skirmishers might might turn in any way they like at the cost 1 point, 5. And I'm going to fire with my javelin at the range of 1, and when I'm firing javelins against Hoplite Phalanx, I get no modifiers. It is 4, so I hit. So they have 1 cohesion hit. And since this unit is not shock capable, because they are light infantry marked they are marked as red, so they are not shock capable, I cannot attack them. But that's good, I'm not going to attack these hoplites. This was not my idea. My idea was to just spray them with javelins and to incur some cohesion hits, and it worked. Okay, that's all when it comes to these guys. So I'm going to take and draw another activation marker, and this is Ionian Skirmishes. There were Persian Skirmishers, and now we have Ionian Skirmishers, and we have them here. And what can I do with them? So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to spray them with my javelins. And javelins against Chariot, I get -1, so this is good. So I inflicted 1 hit on them, and I am going to attack them, because skirmishers are not not shock capable, as you may remember, and this is true. But there is one exception: they are actually quite effective when attacking chariots. So I'm going to make them attack these chariots. Maybe it will be effective, we will see. And so I am attacking them. And let's first make troop quality check for this chariot. 8, so they failed, and they had 5, so eight minus 5 is 3, so they get 3 cohesion hits, and because it is 5, so they are instantly routed, and chariots are eliminated if routed. So these chariots are eliminated. That was good. And I can take the ground. Okay, that's all when it comes to the Ionian Skirmishes. We can take another counter. What is going to be? This is Persian momentum. So I am able to move any of my formation again. I moved chariots and skirmishers, so there is not much for them to do. Oh, or maybe... no, I have 1 skirmishers here and 1 there. Okay. So I'm using this to activate my skirmishers. They are in the range of their overall commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are in range of their overall commander, so I can give them a command via momentum counter, and I'm going to spray my arrows and my javelins against this Athenian hoplite. So first my arrows, 9, it is a miss, and also this means they have low missile. And now my javelins, 6, my god, it is another miss, so that's bad. I hoped they will be able to force these Athenian hoplites to rout, because it was possible, but well, I failed. So let's take another activation counter. So what it is Persian Cavalry. So I can move my Persian Cavalry, and so this is there is some problem, because these 3 units, as you may remember, because of the special scenario rules, cannot move in this direction. I can only move here, there or there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's all they can do. I think that I might be able to reach here, these skirmishers, and maybe fire on them, but that's all they can do for now. Okay, and now the other. For them I'm going to use these special tactics for the light cavalry, which was called Harassment and Dispersal. So they are going to fire, they are going to stay here, do not make any movement, and they are firing like they would fire with the range of 1. And they failed, that's bad. And for the others, 1, 2, 3, they are firing 4 plus 2 because they are firing on the Hoplites, so they failed. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so they are firing again, and they hit. Finally they managed to incur some cohesion hits to these Hoplites, so this is good. So they have so these Hoplites have already 6 cohesion hits, so this is good. And now, as for my heavy cavalry, I think I will just let them stay here and prepare for some attack or charge if necessary. So that's all when it comes to these units. And of course these Hoplites are routed. So remove this and that, and they will have to route. Okay, so it worked, I think, quite well. And next we have to make another activation, and this is what is going to be Ionian Momentum. Okay, so I'm able to activate my Phalanx. I moved all my Phalanx before, so I can move them again. Of course it will cost me one cohesion hit. So what I'm going to do? First, I would love to rally this unit, but I don't think it's possible because they are on the they are on the hex next to the enemy unit, adjacent to the enemy unit, and they are in the fire range of the enemy units that can fire on them as well. So they cannot, they can't even rally themselves. So I have to make a move with these guys. They are moving here. They are declaring the movement. So these guys can retreat to 2 hexes. 1, 2. And they are moving 1, 2, 3, and they get 1 cohesion hit. Okay, that's all. Oh, I might do something like this. I may make a wheel movement, so I get 1 cohesion hit because of making this in the front hex of the enemy, and I have to make a troop quality check. It is 7, so I get another troop cohesion hit. Okay, this is not going to be good, but we will see. And I think this is all when it comes to the Ionians, because these guys are routed, and they moved, and they are going to fight these dudes. So that's all. Oh, I should mark there. No, 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 but they must, and they must. Also, two more. They are no, and they must. Okay, that's all when it comes to the Ionian movement, and now I can resolve combat. We are starting here. We have Phalanx attacking Chariot. So this is not going to be good for Chariot, I believe. Hoplites attacking Chariot, no one is superior. But I think this battle happened already. They fought already in the previous turn, so I shouldn't make this troop quality rolls. So this is good. And now I'm going just to make this combat. There is no one is superior, and I am using column of 5. And I have +1 because there is enemy commander. But I have my column shift of 2 because I am superior when it comes to the number, so I'm using a column of 7 with a result of 7. It is 2 and 3. So attacker suffers 2 cohesion hits, and the defender suffers 3 cohesion hits. And now I have to make a roll for possible collapse. First for Ionians. They passed, so they get their cohesion hits lowered by 1. And now for Persians, I think they have 4 cohesion hits. Oh no, so they are instantly routed. And because these are chariots, this means that they are eliminated. And I have to move this dude here. Okay, that's good. And now we have a combat here. First I have to make a troop quality check for defending Persian light infantry. 0, they passed. Next I have to make a roll for commander. 0, oh my god, he is wounded. So he is wounded. And now I have to resolve a combat. I have Hoplites attacking light infantry, so attacker is superior, and I am attacking in the column of 10. And since I have numerical advantage, I attack with column of 12 instead. So 5 in the column of 12. It is 2 and 4. So Persians suffer 4 cohesion hits. Since they have only 3 troop quality, they are routed. And my Greeks suffer 2 cohesion hits, so they have 5. And I have to make a roll for possible collapse for them. 0, they passed. So I'm giving them 4, and next combat is here. These guys attacking these 2, so I have to make troop quality checks for them. 3, so they passed, and for them 4, they failed, so they get 1 cohesion hit. And now I am attacking Hoplite. Again, this is the same situation. I am Hoplite, but because I'm attacking 2 units. So I will going to use a column of 10. It is 4. 4 in the column of 10 is 2 and 3. And since I am attacker superior, enemy I get 2, so they have 4, and enemy gets 6, they get 3, but I am doubling this because I was attacker superior, so defender gets 6, so they both get 3, so they are all both routed. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I should change their facing, sorry. Okay. So you can see what if Hoplites will finally reach this weak Persian infantry, they still can be quite deadly. Okay, finally one last combat is here. We have to make a troop quality check. 1. Wow, they are lucky because they have only troop quality of 2. So, going to make a roll, we have Hoplites attacking Skirmishes, so this is going to be very bad. this is attacker superior, and we will be using last column of so it's 13 and 13, and because attacker is superior, we will be doubling defender's result, and because defender is not shock capable, we are halving attacker's result. So it is 2 in the 13, it is 2 and 3, and because of what I said, attacker gets only 1, and defender gets 6. So they are rotated as well. 1, 2, 3, and they rotate through the friendly unit. So I think I have to check if it doesn't mean that they have to make some troop quality for this unit as well. I'm not sure, so I need to check it out. I have to make a troop quality for such a unit, so I moved through these guys. 7, so they get 2 cohesion hits because of contact with routing units. This is not good, and they are taking the ground here. So that's all when it comes to the Ionian Phalanx, and this concludes this momentum activation, and we have only one unit, one activation marker left. This is Persian Light Infantry. Okay, so I might activate this Persian Light Infantry, and they are going to be the last unit activated in this turn. So what can I do with them? They are right in front of the Ionian Phalanx, and I have 2 light infantry archers here, and they are not shock capable units, so I cannot attack with them. I can only fire with the spraying. I can only fire with my missile weapons on these approaching hoplites. But there is also one thing I can do. I have a commander here, so I can try to rally these troops. They have range of 4. This guy has a range of 4, so he has all these units in his range, and he has initiative rating of 1, so he has to roll 1 or less to rout these guys. This is not an easy task, but he may try to. First for them. No. Them. No. Oh. 9. No. And then 1. So they are routed and they are rallied. So we have to try to check how good they are now. I'm going to make a roll 5, and I'm halving its number with hull and rounding down. So there is 2. So they are rallied, but they have 2 cohesion hits. So this is not very good, but at last they won't run away from the battlefield. So that's good. Okay, so this is all when it comes to my rally, and now I can use my missile units. I'm going to fire on this Ionian Phalanx. First with them. They both have composite bows, and they are firing from the range of 1. And firing against Hoplite Phalanx, so they are hitting on 6 and with a modifier of 2. So first them, fail, and them, fail. So they failed. That's bad. Okay, and the last thing I can do is to activate my light infantry. And I'm going to do something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. And my idea is to attack this phalanx from both flanks, so this will help me a bit, I guess. And there is one thing I would love to do, but no, that's all. Okay, that's all I can do. So I am making my last attack on these guys. I cannot use these light infantry archers because light infantry archers are not shock capable units, so they cannot attack in any way, but I can use these 3 infantry units to attack this phalanx. So let's resolve this last one combat of this turn. I have light infantry attacking hoplites. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to place shock must, shock no, shock no, and shock no. But I'm going to check if by chance I need to make a roll check for infantry, because there might be a problem with light infantry. Oh no, there is such a situation, but only if hoplites are attacked by light infantry only, and only from the front. And since they are attacked from the flanks, they have to make shock TQ check. So for hoplites it is 1, so they passed. And my light infantry doesn't have to. So I'm going to resolve this combat. And I have light infantry attacking hoplites. This is not something you can see very often probably. So light infantry attacking hoplites is defender is superior, and now there is something, there is a star I can do. I have to check. Any unit that attacks an enemy through its flank is attack superior. I know, okay. Oh, okay, this is about light infantry archers, so this is not a problem for us. Okay, so so defender is superior, and we'll be using column of 2. But defender is superior, but since I'm attacking from flanks, I am superior. There is one exception, and I have to check what exception it is to not make any mistake. It is 915. Oh, this is for light cavalry, so this is not important for us. So I am attacking. So Persians are attacker superior, and we'll be using column of 2. And I'm going to make a roll 2, and because I am attacker Persians are attacker superior, so they have we have to double defender's result. So I have 2 and the result of 2, so I have 4 against 2, and because attacker is superior, we have 4 against 4. So Athenians have 4, and I have to suffer 4 points as well. So they have 1, they have 1, and they have 2. And because of this result, I have to make a casualty, troop quality check for this phalanx. This is 4, and this is +2, so it is 6. So it is higher than its troop quality, so they are routed. 1, 2. Okay, and that's all. And it was the last combat. It was the last combat of this turn, and it was the last activation marker. So we are finishing our orders phase, and we are moving to the last phase, which is titled Roll to Remove, Replace and Reload phase. So we have to make a road. These 3 units are leaving the board because they would run away through their board edge, so they are eliminated because of that, and I'm going to mark them, place them here. And as for Greeks, these 2 phalanx are eliminated. This guy is placed, for example, here, but these 2 phalanx are eliminated, and that's all. Oh, I can of course reload these missiles, but it's not important for us because this is the end of the game, I believe, because we have to make a check for casualty, for road points, and this is going to be, well, quite bad for Athenians, I believe. So Athenians have 12 and 10, so they have 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have 49, and we can count Persian losses as well. This is light infantry, so they have 3. 1, 2, 3. Skirmishers 1. Light infantry 3. 1, 2, 3. Chariot 2. Skirmisher 1. Chariot 2. Chariot 2. And Skirmisher 1. So Persians have 16 road points, while Athenians have 49 road points. So definitely this is the end of the battle, because a road level for Athenians in this battle is, sorry, for Ionians, is 30. So this is a decisive victory of Persians. As you can see, this battle shows that Persians can actually fight and successfully win against even Hoplites, which might be might sound strange, but it is possible if you use Persian units properly, especially their light cavalry archers, because you could see that these archers made our Ionians to suffer a lot of cohesion hits thanks to their firing, thanks to this harassment and dispersal tactics, thanks to their withdrawal fire. So they are quite good, and this is a key to victory in this scenario. For now, that's all. Thank you for watching, and see you later.